So you guys who subscribe to my channel because of I interview Ron Willard for Zhao Ga, and uh, and you're asking what the heck am I doing with all these book reviews of personal development or self help work? What is that? Um, it's the same. It's how sometimes for me, I used to take a kung fu class a long time ago, but I'm probably gonna tell you the story of why I got into Wing Chun or Chao Ga or any other thing. I think it's very back. It was back in 2012. I got interested in many of the arts. It's not just kung fu. Many people are inspired by Tony Jaa with Muay Thai. I like Muay Thai. It's pretty awesome. I think our martial arts system has lots to offer, and I know that people have their opinion about things, but um, for me, I will tell you why I like Wing Chun, and then how can Wing Chun help other kung fu art. I think that too many people get stuck on one system, uh, but but I'm more like I just do it for the art. I do it for the fascination. I do it for the love of the way that people move their body. That's why I got into it. And also, I got into it because of Jackie Chan. He was my childhood hero. I look up to him. Many people, their inspiration was Bruce Lee. Mine wasn't. Though I actually like his philosophy on how he do his martial arts. And in this book, I have three of we will be talking about the stuff today. Uh, I have I have interviewed a Wing Chun Kung Fu master named Danny Xuan, Ron Baliki. I have his book and the Kung Fu history. My friend actually he actually let me borrow his book a long time ago, um, but this one I rebought it. So because I think that it's very important. I used to back in the day. I used to take a kung fu class. It was a combination style of Hung Gar and Fut Gar system. Hung Gar is based on Southern style with they have the tiger and crane, but I'm not too much familiar with that because I can't say those things. But I liked Hung Gar for its wong fei hong. You know, I was ma wong fei hong's because of his lineage. That's why I like it so much. But I like Hung Fut. I used to take Hung Fut, but I like it for because they incorporate the five animal system, the five animal styles. The tiger. They have the snake, the crane, and then they also incorporate the elephant, which I want to know more. But uh, it was my fascination about how the reason why I really love Kung Fu because it was for the way that people express the body, right? And that the we can like condition our body with they call it something. Something's 3 stars. I remember back in the day, my friend introduced me uh, to a kung fu school. That's where we end up with the Hung Fut system, and that's how I learned the 3 star. 3 star is you condition your arm by. I can't. I'll probably show it later, but Wing Chun is a unique concept that has lots to offer for people who want to learn Wing Chun. Now it's exploded with Ip Man. Um, but I know that my story is confusing. So let me start from this. I loved it I loved it Kung Fu more than anything in the world back then when I was a kid. I was passionate about Kung Fu because that's all I see. Like that's all my world was Kung Fu. How did I really get into love of the art? It's because of Power Ranger. I was watching Power Ranger and the way they move. They do martial arts, and then Jackie Chan. He do martial arts. I mean, I watch Sammo Hung, and I watch Jet Li movie film, and inspire me to But at an early age, I was imitating from movies, from doing side kicks, from look like a horse stance and doing tornado kick. Back then, when I was going to kung fu school, I remember there was an instructor. I probably won't say his name, and I was doing a tornado kick. They was like, "What the heck? How he do a tornado kick that easy?" It was from movie. Movie can teach you how to do a tornado kick very easily. I remember I didn't go in any martial arts school about to do a tornado kick. But they teach me how to do the inside lotus kick or the inside and outside lotus kick, and then that's a combination of tornado kick, right? And I mean, it's pretty amazing how martial arts utilize their body to move. I mean, yeah, it's to you know do fights, right? But for me, it's a fascinating of how the body can move different angle and attacks. And that's how I see it. So, but I read this book, this kung fu book, and it talked about the iron fist. If you condition your fist, your hand will be hard because your bone will grow if you hit. I used to do a lot when I was a kid. I used to hit rocks. I used to hit walls. I used to even hit my old middle school. I used to hit locker rooms, just pounding it to condition my knuckles. Back in when I was in boarding school, I used to. People thought I was crazy. I used to do something 3 stars conditioning, on the tree, because or I used to do it uh, at home. Wooden dummy is a great way to do conditioning. So why did I? Wing Chun didn't happen overnight. It was an idea. My friend introduced me to Wing Chun. It was a simple concept because it was like it's not flashy, right? I used to love flash, and I still do. Nothing wrong with that. I still do like occasion. That's why I like Chao Ga. Not because of it's flashy, because it's have great techniques in it. Um, but I'm actually, people will gonna ask me, "What do you have to teach?" No, no, no. I'm just self-taught. But well, I wasn't self-taught when I was in what was it called? The Hung Fut stuff. They teach me how to do forms, but it wasn't enough, right? You wanted like when you learn form, you wanted to learn the technique and what the technique do, and they didn't. If they hear this, they didn't teach that. Yeah, they did, but it's not like how to actually apply. Like in the Hung Fu system, they have bonsai. They have lots of things that look like Wing Chun. I mean, a lot of things that look like Wing Chun, but Wing Chun concept. It's a concept. It's not. It's a way of thinking. When it comes to now, I'm not an expert on Wing Chun or anything. I just passionate about Wing Chun and any other kung fu or any other arts, like taekwondo and stuff like that. I would notice that when I learned Wing Chun, I learned to understand and see the concept of other form and how can they be applied. Because I remember I had one of the tape of Ron Willard tape. He's like, you have to use your imagination when you're doing technique. You have to take the tools out and use it, right? And so I would learn these called the 13 technique, and you do this, and then you block like that, and then they have the I forgot what they call it, the eagle wing, and you go like this, right? To go block and then like that. Now, um, and then when I learned Wing Chun, I was learning Hun Sao. They call it the circle hand, and I like the circle hand. It's much more simple, uh, where they block like this, right? Then after that they go like block. So I don't remember they teaching us any how to block and attack or something. But then when it comes to Wing Chun, you can block and then you take their, let's say a punch is coming this way, you can block, and then you can use hunsa to uh, block the elbow, and then to punch whatever. It's much more easy, or block and hit the neck. It's a simple concept. It's straightforward. It's simple. Um, it's very simple to understand, and I wish I knew that. Like when I learned Hung Fut, the form, I didn't know how to utilize the technique. I mean, I was self-taught how to do, like, I usually learn on tapes and stuff like that, to improve my kickboxing skills. I'm not that great, but um, yeah, yeah. No, when I was in boarding school, I used to get into lots of fights. It just helped to scare people off, but it's great. It's great for when you're in trouble. But anyway, uh, but Wing Chun, my like I said, my friend introduced me to Wing Chun. So what happened is I started reading books on Wing Chun. I start learning about Wing Chun, and I love Wing Chun. Um, they have the Sunum Tao, Chum Q, and Buji. Uh, I mean, I haven't gotten that far. I try to like memorize all the Sunum Tao, Chum Q, and Buji. Now, why do I like Wing Chun? Because it's like straightforward. Like from one, I remember there was a movie called Jet Li, the one, right, where he was the bad guy, and he's like, because it's from A to B, it's straight, right? It's like if you hook, right? If you hook, it take longer, right? But if it's straight, it's faster. Like it, like from a hook punch, or whatever you want to call it, a roundhouse punch, a hook, it take much longer to get there. But a straight punch, it can go fast. That's the whole point, right? And I like that idea, right? Because you can, like, but I still like hook punch. I still like hook punch. I still do those roundhouse or hook punches or uppercut, whatever. I still like them. Um, for and I remember I read a book. It was written by Ipchun. I um, I should re get that book again. Ipchun. Ipchun. Um, that book helped me to understand how Wing Chun is, and it what was it? And I did the form. It's the same. It's not complex. It's simple. A simple tile is very simple to understand. They have the tonsal, the wusal, some what was it, futsal, uh, some other stuff. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert. I just am fascinated by the art. Um, the whole let me see. And his Ibchan, of course, he's the son of Ibman. Now Ibman's getting very fascinated, a lot of attention. Now anyway, this book talk about a lot of things that we should understand about Wing Chun. Wing Chun is a training program based on the concept of fighting. It's a perceived by the founding of art. Wing Chun is not a style of fighting, because fighting per se has no style. This is true of any martial arts. You can be a practitioner of karate, taekwondo, jujitsu, boxing, or wing chun, but your actions in a real fighting situation will never appear anything like they do in sparring session with your fellow students. If you treat your martial art training program as a style and then attempt to always conform to you, it will never be able to deal with even the most basic fighter in a real fight. Don't be fooled by watching the YouTube videos posted by instructors who make their videos and counter move appear like something you will see in the world choreographed kung fu film. When you see a video of an instructor taking apart these assailants are opposing as muggers, and doing so with clearly choreographed and executed techniques. Please realize that this is a show, it's not a real fight. Any martial arts that you care to name is just a concept, a fighting concept, a concept developed by the art founder. The concept may be to make yourself a moving and difficult target to hit, or stay grounded and use a gate system for defense, or condition yourself to take the hardest blows, or to develop your strike from a certain ideal stance, or to be inside or close range fighter, or immobilize an opponent by locking up his joints or slamming him to the ground, or all above. Great. And he also talked about the belt system too. I think that all the martial arts in the world has lots to offer. I mean, from Jiaoga to Hung Fut to what was it, Chole Fut. Uh, I love Chole Fut for its long range movement. It's really long range, and I love it. Um, but back in the old days when I was doing the training for Kung Fu, we used to do basic, what's it, basic class where you warm up and you do all the exercise, and then after that you would they will teach you how to do um, like kicks, punches. It's really mesmerizing, and then they teach you the I only went up to the staff one. That's it for the Hung Fut system. I learned the 13 technique, the short form, second form, the first form, and then the staff form. For me, I like the second form because they incorporate the crane. Um, I like the short first form and the short. I like all the form. It's great, but when I started learning Wing Chun like in 2012, it helped me to realize how the technique inside were used, and it's an eye opener if you apply the Wing Chun concept to any other kung fu art, whether it's Jiaoga, whatever it is, it's great. But I like Wing Chun for its simplicity. It's simple, and then I have interviewed Jeet Kune Do master Ron Balicki, and I like the concept of it. Not for because of Bruce Lee, of course, Bruce Lee, yeah, but for its concept. Uh, his is more like every art should adapt, right? Um, and that's my thing. Like, I think that it's like with every um, art we should adapt. Like if we don't adapt, we won't grow. That's what my message for personal development books, reviews, stuff like that. If you don't adapt to the time, where we live in the time of era with technology, IAs, and if we don't adapt, you lose the ability to whether you're to succeed or win. It's like that. But like I said, I'm not an expert. I just like martial arts, and I'll probably get into details in the future of why I do martial arts, or Wing Chun, or Chow Ga, or whatever. I mean, I like Chow Ga because the form is very unique. I like it. I like it a lot. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.